WrestlePod is supported by viewers like you. To support WrestlePod and the other programs on this channel, visit patreon.com/Ian Beaumont live and direct. Someone is leaving WOS Wrestling. Who is it? You'll find out on this review of episode 7 of WOS Wrestling right now on WrestlePod. From Ian Beaumont live and direct, this is WrestlePod. Welcome along, Ian Beaumont here, good to be with you once again. So yes, WOS Wrestling episode 7 has aired, and it was good-ish. We will get to some of the problems that I have with this episode in particular, but it was quite a decent match. Quite a decent show. No championship matches here. Everything, though, was kind of storyline related, and we kind of kicked off very what's the word? Fast, almost. Nathan Cruz comes out, requests a microphone, starts going on about how Adam Maxted cost them the tag team titles last week. And then talks about that they both have massive egos and WOS Wrestling isn't big enough for both of their egos. Very rare to hear a heel say that. So he proposed a match where both wrestlers compete for a contract, a singles contract. In a ladder match, the winner would stay, the loser has to leave WOS Wrestling. It's a basic loser leaves town match, except this one has a ladder stipulation. That's okay. We still want to call him general manager. WOS executive Stu Bennett said, "I've made all the provisions necessary. The contract is hanging in a briefcase above the ring. And let's get on with it." So, this is one of the slight problems that I have with WOS Wrestling. This sort of thing should be set up one week and then paid off the next. You have the promo bit this week, and then the match should have been next. Because they've only got an hour, and they're kind of tightly formatted in that sense. They really don't have time to play out these sorts of situations properly. Because they don't have the time to play out those situations properly, it means everything has to get paid off then and there. Which, most of the time, that's fine. This is the one situation this week where I would have preferred it to actually paid off next week. You get the promo, you pay it off next week. Didn't happen. Like that. They paid it off right there and then. So you had your loser leaves town WOS ladder match, contract ladder match between Nathan Cruz and Adam Maxted. And my second problem in this match with WOS this week was the editing. And this is the first time the editing has actually kind of annoyed me. Most of the time, I haven't worried about it too much. This time, actually, there were a couple of spots where one of the guys gets thrown into the ladder or backdropped onto the ladder. Things like that. They're kind of hard to watch on occasions, but mostly they're fine. But the edit, because of this airing at like 4:30 in the afternoon UK time, they edited it so that you cut away to audience reactions when the impacts happened, and that they were not quick shots. God, they were long shots. They were like 3 to 5 seconds. Which means they are very, very... It's actually painful kind of waiting for them to cut back. So that's the first time the editing has really kind of annoyed me in that sense. But it was a good match, all told. Adam Maxted drop kicking Nathan Cruz off the ladder. Oh man, what a spot that was! He did a couple of variations of that. He took the second one. I think he took Adam Maxted off the ladder with a neck breaker or something. You know, leapt across. You know, or cut like almost. Was a hell of a match. Eventually, Adam Maxted successfully climbs the ladder, grabs the briefcase. He gets the contract. And Nathan Cruz has to leave WOS. And it's a little bit of a surprise, because Nathan Cruz actually is a great heel. We had a commercial break, and then afterwards, Rachel Stringer, the backstage reporter, actually took a moment to interview Nathan Cruz. And I think Nathan just said, "This isn't it for me. This is not the last time you will see me in WOS Wrestling." I kind of hope it isn't, because he's a good heel. He's a really good heel. But if they do that this season, unless it's some sort of cliffhanger for next year, I don't see paying that particular angle off now, this season, is going to do anything other than make the stipulation seem nonsensical. But yeah, 2.5 stars. It was a decent match. Just goddamn shame about those edits, and also not having the promo one week and being able to pay it off the next. That would have pumped up another half star at least for me. But there you go. That's what happened. Adam Maxted remains in WS. Nathan Cruz, bye-bye. So next we had a 4-way match. And it was a 4-way officially. But it ended up being like a tale of 2 different matches in one. It was Gabriel Kidd, Liam Slater, Robbie X, and Crater. All in competition. And for the first and third segments of this match, it was basically 3-on-1. Kidd, Slater, and Robbie X all teaming up on Crater. In the middle bit, when Crater was taken out of the action for a while, you had some amazing little 3-way action between Slater, Robbie X, and Gabriel Kidd. They're amazing. Especially Robbie X, who was really over with the crowd. Double drop kicks, all sorts of amazing high-flying moves from Robbie X. This guy is amazing. If you haven't seen this match, I tell you, get on the ITV Hub and just see if you can find that little bit in the middle where the 3 of them go at it for a while. Oh my God, was that fun. And once Crater gets back in, it then reverts back to this 3-on-1 encounter. yeah, I can only give it 2 stars because Crater really slows down the pace of this match in the middle. It's not as good as I would like. Um, uh, well, I say in the middle. The middle bit of the match, the pace is humongous. Outside of that, it really slows down. And I mean, Crater is. I think I've said this before on here. Crater is a callback to the old Giant Haystacks. That sort of heel. But yeah, I didn't really like. I didn't really enjoy this match as much as I enjoyed a lot of the others. There's one bit of one match that I really didn't enjoy, and I'll get to that shortly. But yeah, so to get a pinfall on Crater, it took Gabriel Kidd, Liam Slater, and Robbie X to all pin him. Kidd got on top first, so technically he gets the pin. It doesn't matter. Crater was beaten for like the first time in WOS. Of course, after the match, Crater just beats them all down. But overall, yeah, 2 stars. I think it could have been so much better, but Crater is just painful against these guys. The slowness of him against all these quick guys, it doesn't quite work. Some people say 2 big men battling, you get a really slow, lumbering match, but actually that more suits things. It's more suitable that way. This for me just didn't really work as a match. I like the storytelling, but the match itself, not much. Next up, we had Martin Kirby and Grado facing off one-on-one. And the story of this match revolved around Grado's bum bag that he always wears. It's never been a feature of any match beforehand. But it was treated as a feature of this one. What mystery object is inside Grado's bum bag? I could have done without that aspect. Great. I mean, the 2 guys in the ring are seriously great wrestlers. You didn't really need this kind of comedy gimmick thing to play up. I must admit, though, Grado did, on different occasions, he channeled Big Daddy more than once, and you got an easy chant going. Or it was a bit quicker. It was more like easy. That's better. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. You also got one situation where it was pure Les Kellett. If you've never seen Les Kellett, you got to go back into the 70s for this. But he was an absolute master of comedy wrestling. And doing it in a way that didn't detract from his actual skill, just made him seem that much better. And yeah, there was a moment where I think Kirby went for a crossbody or something to Grado was on the rope, and Grado just walked away before before Kirby got there, and he just looked a damn fool. That was very Les Kellett. If you don't know who I mean by Les Kellett, look him up on look it up on YouTube. I swear to you, there will be Les Kellett. That would be LESKELLETT. Look up Les Kellett, World of Sport Wrestling, and you will probably find a number of his matches where the comedy is brilliant, and it doesn't detract from the skill. So, yeah, very. That was a nice touch. What I really didn't like was Martin Kirby goes into this bum bag. What's in the bum bag? Just a toothbrush. This pet set up this big thing in the preview, both at the beginning of the show and last week. What item is in Grado's bum bag? Like it's some deep, dark, sinister mystery. And all it is a freaking toothbrush. Jesus. And then they do all sorts of comedy bit with the toothbrush. Putting it under their armpits and trying to force it into each other's mouth and trying to force it into the referee's mouth. Oh, God. No. I have to agree with Stu Bennett on this one. And I rarely agree with Stu Bennett here. But, no, that was just too goofy, too silly, too stupid. I get, a good comedy wrestling match. It was funny, but too goofy. Needed to be a little bit more Les Kellett style, or a little bit more like Santino Marella or Dude Love back in the day. Which really, I mean, Dude Love was a comedy gimmick, really. But yeah, that would have been so much better than this, which just, stank. Literally. So, yeah, I mean, Martin Kirby gets the win by putting his feet up on the second ropes as he rolls up Grado. Referee doesn't see it. 1, 2, 3. But honestly, I have to give this just 1.5 stars. It was a well done match, all told, but that bit with the toothbrush and the bum bag, oh God, that just brought the whole thing way down. So last week, Justin Sizem defeated Charles Samuels and CJ Banks in a 2-on-1 handicap match for an opportunity to take on Rampage Brown. Earlier in the night, we get a little video segment from earlier in the day where Justin Sizem is meeting Stu Bennett in his office. Stu is impressed by Justin. I mean, how could you not be? The guy is built, physically well built, and has looked very impressive in all of his matches. No two ways about it. And even Stu has to admit that you've been very, very impressive. I said I was going to give you an opportunity at Rampage Brown. Here is your opportunity. You and Joe Hendry will team up to take on Rampage Brown and Shah Samuels. Holla holla, player, we have got ourselves a tag team match, players! Yes. Stu Bennett going a little bit Teddy Long there. Whew. Anyway, I almost want to say, holla holla, player, we have got ourselves a tag team match, players. And that is what happened. Main event of the night too. I mean, the ladder match could have easily main evented. But instead, we get Justin Sizem and Joe Hendry taking on Rampage Brown and Shah Samuels. And Brown and Samuels kind of dominated the match, which is to be expected. They are bloody good wrestlers, both of them. And having them work together, it's a pretty lethal combination. It's got to be said. the first bit, you had Justin Seisman take a heck of a lot of punishment early on for quite a chunk of the match. But about half the match, he took punishment from Samuels and Rampage, with CJ Banks getting a few licks in as well from outside. That was, I mean, it was really, really good. You had a hot tag to Joe Hendry. He came in, cleaned house for a bit. Then he got overpowered for about a minute or so. Maybe in about 90 seconds. Gets a hot tag back to Justin, who's recovered a bit on the outside. He cleans house. Hendry hits, I think it was it Shaw or Rampage? I forget which one. Hits one of them with fallaway slam. Seism hits the 450 splash for the pin. Absolutely brilliant. It looks like they're going to set up Justin Seism to become the new WOS champion, probably in the last episode. That's what looks like what it's building up to. I don't mind. I kind of wish they hadn't done this kind of heel GM thing and say, you know, here's your opportunity. It's in a tag team match. That was a little weak. But overall, I have to give the match 2.5 stars. It was a decent match. Well storylined. Wasn't a lot of high spots. There wasn't really a lot of high spots in this entire episode. We've had a few episodes with a number of high spots in the episode, but it wasn't really that many here. Other than around the ladder match, where we had a couple of really amazing spots. But we didn't really have a lot of that this time. I must admit, I did like SoCal Val. And her commentary. Every commentator has a good character in WOS Wrestling. Alex Shane is being a typical babyface commentator. Stu Bennett's being a traditional heel, although he's still so often with heel commentators, it's been done so much better in the past. Jerry the King Lawler, Bobby the Brain Heenan, even to a degree Jesse Ventura. Those three, just off the top of my head, they've been much better, like, heel commentators. SoCal Val is not really face. Well, she is kind of face, but she's not really out and out supporting the faces. She'd been quite taken by Adam Maxted and Nathan Cruz's team together, you know. Kind of turned on Nathan Cruz when he turned he didn't really turn heel. He was already heel. They were both heels. But she was still liking them because they looked really good. And that's been one of the great things about SoCal Val. She's kind of face. She's kind of tweener. But she's not really, she's not really going heelish that much. It's not a standard commentary thing she's doing. She's giving a completely new angle on commentary, and it works in that dynamic with Alex Shane as the babyface, Stu Bennett as the heel. That's really, really good. I just wish that some of the bookings and the editing, especially that we had with this ladder match, this really I think this exemplified one of my biggest problems with scheduling it at 5 p.m. Or 4:30 as it is at the moment, because they've got the Harry Potter movies on, and rather than have them run into 9 o'clock, they've pushed WOS kind of a little bit just to make some room. But the whole thing with going out in that late afternoon, early evening slot is that you can't show a lot of gruesome stuff. It has to be family friendly. But a ladder match is rarely family friendly in that sense. Even though there were kids in the audience, there were actually kids in the audience watching this. So for me, it should have premiered. WOS Wrestling really should be a post-Watershed show on first airing with a censored re-airing in daytime, sort of early evening sort of time. That would have been better, I think. But that's just my feeling on that. What are your thoughts on episode 7 and on WOS Wrestling? Whether it should be like an early evening show or a post-Watershed show, really. Whatever your thoughts, drop something down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Like, share, subscribe, support me on Patreon. Patreon.com/Ian Beaumont live and direct. And back next week with episode 8. And with predictions for Hell in a Cell. I will do those probably either Wednesday or Thursday. Just so you know. Or maybe Friday if I'm struggling. But we'll see. So yeah, that's coming up next week. Episode 8, of course, of WOS Wrestling. We will review that. And we'll probably may touch on other things as well, depending on what happens in the world of wrestling. So just keep your eye on this Ian Beaumont Live and Direct YouTube channel for more WrestlePods. And until next time, thanks for watching. Stay sharp. Stay tuned.